of mandatory shutdown of non-essential businesses and lockdown. Hey, let's get Mayor Robert Hofmann from Sin City. He's our correspondent in Sinajana. Good morning, Mayor.
Hi, Mayor.
Day. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we haven't heard from you in a few days. What can you update us on everything that's been going on in your neck of the jungle, and then also with the Mayor's Council?
Well, here in Sinajana, we're still continuing to perform our, help our people and perform our services here. It's quite we're starting up to kind of just get back to some of the normalcy in terms of getting the grass cut in some of the areas. The bits of rain here and there have helped, and then so we're actually getting there's no more dirt, so it's actually grass is growing in some areas. And then we're just helping residents. We're getting a lot more resident requests for trash assistance because they really can't afford those bins anymore. And so I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a problem that's gonna be creeping up on everybody because that's $40 a month, and it's pretty steep for these people and for a lot of people who are gonna be out of work. So that's something we've been responding to and helping a lot with. And from what I understand, solid waste is also not customer service is not open, so they can't return some of the bins that people are willing to pay. That have either got taken away right before the shutdown happened, and so now we just have houses with trash piling up on the side.
Well, there was some positive news, right? I understand that they had cleared the cluster for the Sinajana Senior Center.
Yeah, we actually had, they cleared. We understand it got cleared, and we kind of were a bit upset about how we found out. And we were originally told only one at the time, and so we helped with that one case and the tracing and everything, and then lo and behold, the last week's news told us, there was three. We're like, what? And so we got, I was very pissed off, and I made it known that, I said, I wish you kind of told us, because our people are out there, especially we know that they're home isolation. Our people are out there delivering meals to these homes, and I'm setting them, basically putting them in danger, not knowing, I said, if you just told us, and they said, yeah, well, the HIPAA, and I said, yeah, but you can't knowingly put us in danger either.
Right.
So, if you just told me, where's your food delivery list, remove persons A, B, C, or, 4, 7, and 15 because their interest, you don't have to tell me what they have, just their interest, or they're not going to be receiving meals, or we can figure out another way to get it to them. So it was very, it was very difficult. And so I raised my concerns, and so public health has stepped up to assist us in the delivery of the meals. And so I feel it's safe, really, for our people to go out, because we don't know what kind of exposure they were exposed to. And, at this point, we still don't even know who the other two are, because I've been tracking all the seniors that are there, and I talk to them, we meet them, we made them, we even got them palms for Palm Sunday. We made them get well cards. We're their only contact to the outside world, and I'm glad that they're staying home. But the point is that we're the only people that are coming in contact with them. And if they are positive COVID cases, that kind of would have been really weird that we would have been there to see them, and then we go from one senior to the next senior to the next senior. So it didn't make any sense to not tell us at all. And they kept assuring us, but the person, if the person's okay and now, and I said, yeah, but they live with other people too. So they may get cleared, but the next person may have it, or the next person may have it, and the daughter, the son may be the one coming out getting the food and not knowing they're asymptomatic and have it. So, it's something we're trying to work through, and so we're relying on public health to do their job.
Well, I'm just at a loss for words, Mayor, because, we had Mayor Rudy on, and he's not really a mincer of the words, so he obviously feels the same way. We've had just a countless parade of mayors coming on the show saying, hey, we need to know this information, we want more transparency, and it's still not happening, huh?
Nope, it's not, and that's the thing, it's how do you knowingly... if I'm an agency and I know what the rules are, and I know what the cases are, and I know when there's dangerous situations, I'm going to make sure that if the other people who are assisting me as an agency go and respond to that they're fully prepared and equipped and know how to handle it and have some sort of training. I mean, our volunteers and our staff, bless them, they work hard, they respond to everything under the sun, and, imagine having to tell them, hey, you're going to go to this person's house, and then how do we break the news to them? So, by the way, that 3 times you were there, the 4 times that you helped deliver, that person may have had COVID, and then like, oh my God, Mayor, they came out and got the food for me, and so that's kind of where we were at. And I said, why would you knowingly put people's lives in that kind of danger? And that really isn't a good reflection on how the operation is. So I made it known. I made it known to Homeland. I made it known to Public Health that I said, I'm beyond upset. And the fact is, they didn't even have the courtesy to tell me until I saw it on a news story on Friday.
Wow.
So they may have cleared, but if I said, are you sure this is Sinajana? Because families were calling me on Friday saying, Mayor, what's going on? I thought there was only one. I said, me too. I thought there was only one, and, because I had direct contact with everybody else on that list. And, if they were removed, they were at the hospital, or Mayor, they don't need a meal. Okay, I'll take them off the list. But, they only asked me for one list for one specific thing. So if another person did contract COVID, was it a different attendance date? Was it a different time? Because not all the seniors go every day. So we didn't get any answers.
You said that Public Health is assisting you now. How is that going, and in what manner are they giving you assistance?
They're delivering the food. Their food arrives. We sort it out. We send out 126 meals, and then they have drivers and volunteers from other groups, and they go out and deliver it. And they have the PPEs that they need to kind of make sure that they do their job. And they keep telling me, "Oh, it's safe now." I'm like, I think I want a few things done. I think I want test our employees. If our employees were potentially exposed for the last 3 weeks that we were doing this, already, just for peace of mind, test them, just to show that, hey, sorry we put you in danger, but here, which probably you are negative, not a problem. You were never of any harm, because if it was dangerous, we would have had a person in the hospital, whatever, to just make them feel okay. And then, two, is test the household, because I'm sure that household is also kind of like, I think they have concerns. And if the household comes back clean, I'll resume services easily and take over. But it's how they want to operate. So by all means, they can do it if they want to step up and have to use. I mean, my pool of drivers and volunteers, they're nice, they're great, and I'm grateful for them. But I think they have the same concerns. And me, as the person who asked them to do that, I would never knowingly put them in any danger. Right. And so I pulled back, and I said, I'm not going to do this. I said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to ask you guys to step up if I'm not aware of the situation in the front line. And that's the thing. Any good leader would make sure what's the front line look like, and okay, let's do this together. And I was personally delivering meals too, and my upsetting words were, if you infect the whole office and I'm out, there's no other agency that can do our job.
Right. Mayor, there's like an obvious break there. I don't even want to say a communication breakdown, but it looks like no communication. What about former Mayor Bob Lozama? Isn't he Adeloop's liaison to the Mayor's Council? Has there been any communication with him, or is that something that we need to work on?
We've talked with him, but for projects and other things, not on this specifically, because I think this one deals directly with local government and Homeland, and Homeland deals with Public Health, and Public Health deals with all the others. So there isn't a direct line of communication somewhere, somehow. And what we're seeing, we've seen in the States, the governors talk to the mayors, it goes out, that's how things are done. But for whatever reason, it's, we're not really that much into the plan, in this, involved in the plan of this. So I guess that's part of their pandemic plan doesn't really include the local authorities at the ground. So, we're going to continue to do our work and service the people and up. So right now, one of the things we're dealing with as mayors is the homeless. And, you saw that the Home Ministry to the Homeless has pulled back in the food services. Mm-hmm. So that's something that we're getting, and we're seeing homeless, everywhere now, out and about, and we're actually seeing some new homeless. So that's gonna, it's disturbing to us to see where are they coming from? Are they just coming from another village? So, we're sharing pictures and asking each other, is this from your village? Is this person from your village, or where do they come from? And we're seeing if they're just, either people who got kicked out for whatever reason and are now in the streets. So we're doing our own investigations and trying to see this, but we're trying our best to kind of see what assistance they can get and what agencies are open that can immediately assist those that are either newly homeless, going to be homeless, or that are just out on the streets, because the food situation is hard. I know the commodities were distributed yesterday, but it is not going to be enough, because we have a lot more people utilizing all the services of all the different nonprofit groups that assist people in need. So, I serve on the board for the Archdiocese for the Ministry of the Homeless, and so that's a very hard decision to do, because we don't have the protective gear. And then two of the homeless had COVID. They won't even tell us there, so we don't know if we're servicing them when they stand in line to get the food. They congregate enough, and we don't have the people out there saying, hey, separate, keep 6 feet apart, and paint the line. So we just provide a service. We open the door, we hand them out the food, and they go off and they eat it. So it's dangerous for the people that we have there, and these are great, beautiful volunteers, Manamko, the Christian mothers and all, and I wouldn't want that. And so we're lacking that, and we're lacking host families who would normally be scheduled, but because of the situations don't either want to encounter, or also financial hardships that they can no longer be host families. So there is a direct need for that. So that's why we've reduced the hours of operation Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's something that we know that's going to have an impact in the community.
Why do you think you guys have been shut out or not being given any sort of information by the, Joint Information Center, by the governor's office, whoever's in charge?
We don't know. I know that we get what we I guess it's like a need to know basis, and so they only tell us what we need to know. And even though we're asking for the things that we're asking are not far and unreasonable, I think I'm not sure what they're trying to accomplish by doing that. We could help, but if they're saying that they have a handle on it, then there's nothing we can do. And I don't think any of us can. We can't go in there and test people ourselves. And
I'm sorry, is that what they're saying, that we got a handle on it? Is that pretty much what they're telling you guys?
We've been sending our questions up for the first day, and getting responses back is few and far between, and it's hard. It's difficult to get that because sometimes JIC doesn't know, or and they send their questions up, and it gets sent to the lab, and the lab just is like, oh, we're busy testing, and
right.
We'll get that information when we get it to you. And so it took a while just to get those profiles out for them to compile it to kind of come out. So,
well, I heard, Mayor, that in the 2 weeks back, I think it was a couple Fridays back, where the governor did the press conference about put the letter on your car and stuff. JIC had no heads up, and I heard that they found that out like you did watching the press conference.
Yeah. So it's are there things that could be done better? Absolutely. And I think that's we're willing to help. We've offered our help. We've said it again, help us help you. And I guess it's hard to fathom because it depends who's in charge. Is it the governor? Is it the director of public health? Who's making the calls and the shots? Is it GMH? Is it So there's a lot of response. There's a lot of coordination that has to happen, and I know it's difficult. I wouldn't want to be in that position.
You guys should try and get in on the Zoom briefings that we get.
You want me to send you the link, Mayor?
I mean, you only get two questions, and then they mute you.
Yeah.
But because of the security risk with Zoom, we've actually opted out of that.
Oh.
So
there's a security risk?
There's lots. You can just Google that, and you'll see all the security risks.
Oh, great.
Identity theft. They can tap your phone. They can do a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, Zoom's not as wealthy as Google, so I would probably do a Google Meet instead, or whichever else. But that's a whole tech side of that. But we've offered. We just said, give us just the normal press phone call, conference that we could do, and then we can do that. So it's a lot easier for what we can do. But we get invited, and so several of us are just going to say, we're going to continue to do our jobs. You need us, you know where to find us. So that's kind of how we've been able to operate now. And so we're just trying to, one, flatten the curve, trying to see not get any more cases out there. But
right.
we've been busy reporting, gatherings, and they keep asking us, mayors, we need your help. I'm like, we're not going to help you in that sense. We're going to let the police do it because some of these, people legitimately, we have a hard time not even just approaching them and seeing that. And we tell them, I said, as much as we remind them, don't get big groups, people still did. And so, we relied on the police to assist because, we're trying to figure out what's the messaging here and how do we go about going after this and reminding people, hey, don't break this, but, unless you're doing it for this reason or for this reason or,
Right.
So it's a big mess. And so we're just going to continue to do our work on our end.
Well, you keep it up. I know you guys are definitely doing a lot out there on the village level, the front line.
Hey, we're trying, and there's a lot of people out here, and we just want to make sure everybody's safe, and I think that's why we're going to continue to reiterate. Please give us the information. We know we take a solemn oath just like the police officers, just like the governor, and we have people's information in our verification systems. We know who they are. We know things about them, but we're not out there blabbing it because we rely, that confidentiality, we take that oath very seriously, and we take that confidentiality very seriously. So for somebody to say, I can't tell you because of this, I'm like, well, just that I know who's in their household, I know their birth dates, and, kind of have that all in my system, and it's just, so we rely on our residents, and some of our residents have been really good and forthcoming about letting us know they actually have COVID. And they tell us, and so that's what we've all been kind of doing. And so I think the mayors don't have a full picture of it, but for those residents that were forthcoming, we do understand because they're the ones that we're asking to get assistance to immediately in terms of food or any type of other assistance and making sure that they're safe and their family members are safe. So I've seen some households where they wrote it on a cardboard box and this I'm trying COVID house and please please stay back, do not enter. And so they're just doing their thing. And so, they're willing to let people know. I don't see why not. And I think maybe you should ask the patient that.
Right.
Say, can we let the public know your village? And maybe if they say yes, then maybe we can probably get a better picture of it.
Right. Well, thanks, Mayor. Appreciate what you're doing. And just sorry about the frustration. The community feels it too. We actually just got a comment. Can the community get in the Zoom? The citizens have more questions for the governor. Well, it's a big security risk. So, I don't know.
They should. I think that everyone should. That it's your right to question those in power. So, whether it's be writing it an email or doing the 311 WhatsApp. I don't know if they got that back up and running or.
No, I think it was inoperable as of yesterday.
Yeah. So it's.
But I don't even know if you could ask. Can you ask questions, or it's just a prompted thing like?
I think there
press
you
one.
can't ask questions, but I think the other ones. I think you can because then you can actually end up talking to a live person.
On the WhatsApp.
No, on the 311 when you dial.
Yeah.
Depends where you go, then you end up talking to a live person, and they do send the questions up the chain because we've gotten questions from us posed to us as mayors through that channel where they end up calling an agency. The agency calls up saying, "Mayor, we got a concerned caller from 311 about this person or this gathering or this business," and then we kind of go out and do our visual checks and everything, and then we report back to those responsible agencies, and so. We are part of that kind of communication chain.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
We should call 311. Hey, can we get approval to have Dr. Felix Cabrera talk with us?
There we go.
Just, now we got to go get approval from the front office just to talk to a member of the Physicians Advisory Group, on top of the fact that we get muted during these press conferences. So...
what I feel like the media is just kind of like biding their time because it's not always going to be Zoom press conferences and muting and woo boy, when we get a chance and we're not going to be muted,
yeah, the thing is that I don't know if people are getting fatigued also on just getting so much news already, and everyone just wants it to be over with. That's kind of the general attitude of what it is, and I don't know what the risks are. And one thing, one of I would say the harder things that we had to do is we actually even asked the Archdiocese when are they gonna resume Mass, because I know they said April 18 was their restart date, but I understand they're going to be sending out a press release tomorrow announcing, what other measures are taken by the churches. So, that's something that we found comforting, and we thank KOM for covering the Mass Cathedral. It's been great. Your Facebook page has been great. So I'm saying, wow. And I hope it continues for, in that manner that people who can't attend services actually take a part, do that. I saw other churches and other faiths doing that as well over this Easter weekend, and I was just like, wow, this is kind of cool to see. And Guam's really stepping up in the technology side, so I'm pretty sure it's making Jason happy.
Yeah, it is.
or like tired. I got
Yeah.
to do this time, then I got to live stream this.
Yeah.
But we're learning a lot from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is his time. I mean, this is what he lives for. All the techie stuff. Google Chrome extension.
There you go. He should do a tutorial how to get people to do the distance learning on Google Classroom and all the other things. I think most parents that have not touched that before, and so it's been a learning curve for a lot of us.
I hear you. Class
Dojo.
Download the Class Dojo.
Don't get Bree started. Bree was trying to give her boys school a big headache because I think I overheard something about, you mean I'm paying this tuition so I can be the teacher?
You should You should tell them the school should use Zoom. It's a lot easier. No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do that.
Yeah,
But
they do.
I'm at work when they're doing it. So it's
All right, Mayor. Don't get restarted on this. We only got 4 hours.
All right. Take care.
Okay, see you.
Adjust.
Okay,
Bye.
stop. There you go. Sinajana Mayor Robert Hofmann, 656. Hey, we got to take a break. We're trying to get Dr. Hohen Wen, the governor's Physicians Advisory Council on. Yeah, so we're talking to him. And then Mary Rhodes
Rhodes,
from GHRA is also, we got to give her a call. So we'll do this break, and we'll come back with more containing COVID. We're KUAM-FM and Agatni, Guam. Good morning on you.
Good morning.
Adulting isn't so hard when you have a mobile plan.